So recently, my fiance actually saw one of your posts.
Okay. I think I probably called her within an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't think she answered, but I left her a voicemail. And if you don't have proper systems put into place, so many things fall through the cracks.
Today's guest is someone I've known way back since high school, Jordan Graves. Jordan is a real estate agent with RE/MAX and uses social media to attract clients and build his business. We're diving into his journey, how he jumps over the competition, and the strategies he's using to turn content into clients.
All right. Jordan, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So start by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got into real estate.
Yeah. My name is Jordan Graves, obviously. I work with RE/MAX Real Estate Center. I've been there just a couple months now. I was at Coldwell Banker. And they locally have just shut down, just in the Des Moines market. Mm-hmm. In March, it will be my official 2-year mark in real estate. So it's been a fun journey so far. Yeah.
Cool. So what did you do before real estate?
Let's see. So I started in landscaping when I got back from college, where I played baseball for a year in Creston, Southwestern Community College. Played baseball there for a year, loved it. I would say personally, I don't know if others would agree, but playing some of the best baseball in my life, and it just got to the point where like the hours that you're putting in, it's just like, man, I could go be making money right now, and I didn't see myself making it much past maybe JUCO baseball, like not to the major leagues or anything like that. So I was like, let's just go try out the job field. And I kind of had always been intrigued to do real estate. Mm-hmm. So, not to jump forward, but yeah, so after JUCO, after 1 year at SWIC, I came back, got an apartment in Ankeny, went to DMAC for another year, still realized school's not my thing.
What were you studying?
Just keeping basically a large degree.
What was your first experience in real estate? Buying, selling?
Yeah, so my first client was a good friend of mine, and he was a first-time home buyer and purchased his first property. So he still lives in there to this day. It's coming up close on 2 years. So that was really my personal first experience in real estate. Like before that, I never had, although it's always intrigued me to invest in real estate, kind of how I got into this too. But that was really like my first experience in real estate, because like I said, I hadn't bought any properties.
Cool. Who do you work with most? Do you work with a lot of first-time home buyers?
Yeah, first-time home buyers and buyers in specific, really. I mean, I just got one of my listings under contract this morning, so like I'll work with sellers, but buyers are definitely my sweet spot.
Sure.
And first-time home buyers, to be specific. It's just I can resonate with them really well. I mean, obviously my age, and then it's an experience that I've encountered so many times now throughout my career that I just am slowly starting to grow the confidence to continue working with first-time home buyers, and like the experience that is shared amongst everybody throughout the transaction. It's really special.
Yeah. What's been one of the most rewarding deals or client stories in your career so far?
I would have to say probably my first one. That was, I got licensed probably, I think it was like March 10th of 2023. By March 17th, I think I had my first deal under contract. And it was with my friend. I mean, he was kind of waiting on me to get my license so he could buy his house. His lease was coming up in his apartment. And he was like, hey, when you get your license, I'll buy a house. So that was really special for me just because I knew like, even prior to starting real estate officially, I had that support. Mm-hmm. So we started shopping immediately once I got my license. Once I could open the lockbox, get my phone connected to it. Started shopping with him. We looked at a couple houses, and obviously I was pretty fresh. So like things that he was seeing, I was seeing for the first time too. And it was really fun. And then we finally found one, and he got under contract, and we closed 3 days later, and it was just like, wow. Like that was all within a month. Yeah. Inspections, shopping for a closing gift, like stuff like that. Like it was fun. Yeah.
Your bio emphasizes a relationship-first approach.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share a story where building a strong client relationship, made the difference?
Yeah, certainly. There's a chiropractor in Altoona, right next to my old office, and Coldwell Banker shut down. So I was moving all my stuff out of there, and I give all my buyers packets, and I give all my sellers packets. And I had this buyer's packet that I didn't really want to throw away, And I went next door and talked to, actually got adjusted from the chiropractor, Dr. Duke, and I was like, man, I don't really want to throw this away. I haven't seen them in a while. I know they just moved to the area. He just started a business. And I know they're renting. I've talked about them the basics, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to waste this. So I went over there and just said, hey guys, it's me, and I gave them my buyer's packet, and they were like, that's so crazy. We've been shopping on Zillow a little bit for homes and just browsing, and I was like, oh wow, this is rewarding. This is pretty cool. So I went in there and he's in Altoona, so I regularly go see him and continue to build that client relationship with him. But it's also kind of transitioned into a friendship too, which has been really special.
That is cool.
Yeah.
What do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions people might have about buying or selling?
I feel like for some first-time home buyers and like us as realtors, it's our job to educate our clients, right? I feel like some people, they throw their talent in the ring without even giving themselves an opportunity to buy a home. I think in first-time home buyers, really in specific, I feel like they just think they're not in maybe a financial position to be able to do so, and like I said, they just don't give themselves the opportunity. But had they reached out to a realtor, had they reached out to a mortgage lender, they might have been able to really, oh man, like this, I can do this, So I think a lot of people think that, buying a house is so difficult and it's so expensive, and, there's so many programs and grants available that, hopefully help take the ease off a little bit. Yeah.
That's cool. Des Moines is a growing market. What trends are you seeing, and how should buyers or sellers prepare for the next few years?
Great question. Even in the past 30 days, really since right after the first of the year, I think people, it was after the holidays, people were waiting to see what happened with the election and all that stuff. And then right after that happened, I think people realized okay, not much has changed. We do want to buy a house. We do want to sell our house. And it's gotten really, really, really busy. Like I just said earlier, I got a listing under contract this morning. I was getting consistent traffic through my open houses and private showings and stuff like that. So, I think the traffic has picked up quite a bit, which will be fun. I think I'm showing buyers some houses right now, and they'll send it to me on a Wednesday, and we're going to schedule it for Thursday because it went on the market on Wednesday. Well, by the time I go and schedule it, or by the time we go get ready to go see it on Thursday, it's already pending. So, things are really picking up, and I think if you're a seller, it's a great time to sell, and I think if you're a buyer, it's a good time to buy. So,
what strategies do you use to market homes?
You probably see my Instagram. I really have leaned into Instagram heavily lately. I have a friend out in Washington. His name's Wahid. He has 20-something thousand followers on Instagram, and at first I think we talked about this. I just reached out to him one day. I was like, dude, you have really cool content. How do you do this stuff? How do you do this stuff? And he kind of slowly started talking to me a little bit more, and I've realized, holy crap, this guy really does, gain credibility. He gets clients all from what he posts on social media. So I reached out to him, like I said, and was like, hey, how do you do all this stuff? And he told me. So I think my marketing strategies would probably, obviously I'm younger, so I can really lean into the social media side of things and help, because when a realtor lists your home, it's posted on the MLS, which then the MLS feeds Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, Redfin, all those third-party search portals. But what those don't automatically post to is social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So let's just say a home is getting 20,000 followers or 20,000 views on a third-party search portal. Well, if you can just post that to Instagram and TikTok, and let's just say you're averaging, 2,000 views, on each platform, that's 4,000 more eyeballs that saw you, Mr. Seller's property. That just gives you another opportunity to sell your home in the quickest amount of time for the most amount of money.
How do you make it stand out?
I'll jump over houses. That's something I've done a lot lately. I think one time I saw it this guy jumped over like the Eiffel Tower, and then he showed how he did it, like through a tutorial. And I was like, I could do that on a house. I could do that. So I did it once, and like a lot of people loved it, and I was like, man, I can keep doing that. But I don't like to be overwhelming on Instagram too. I don't want people to unfollow me because like, gosh, this guy posts a lot. So I try to add value too. Like I'll do different home tour videos when it's not jumping over a house, or like I've done a couple of ones where it's, down payment on this house could be, just kind of informative as well. But I like to keep it fun because I think anybody who knows me personally knows that I like to make things fun. I think I have a pretty good personality for stuff like that. So, standing out, jumping over houses is pretty fun. And then really just trying to keep it professional too. Like I've definitely done some unprofessional things on Instagram for real estate too. But the professional stuff, it makes me look as more of the professional that I am, which I think then portrays to my audience and my potential clients and my current clients that, wow, like he is good at what he does. He does what he says he's going to do. So, yeah.
How often do you post? Like you said that you don't want to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
How many posts are you posting?
So, in a day? Or like a week? Okay, let's go a week. I usually post, I try to do at least 3 to 4 times a week. Maybe I'll bump it up to 5 if I'm like really getting out there and filming videos. But yeah, 3 to 4. And maybe I'll do like 2 back-to-back days, not do one, then do another one, then not do one, and then do another one. So just because like it slowly just starts to kind of form a cycle of like people who are following me continuously see my content, and people who haven't followed me yet, if I keep posting more consistently, I'll continue to come up, on their algorithm. Mm-hmm. And then the algorithm will then keep pushing them back to my page, which then hopefully at one point in time will convert them to a client.
Right.
So yeah, 3 to 4 times a week, I'd say.
How would you say, like, what would you say the funnel is from your Instagram to a client? What are those steps from somebody seeing your content to actually becoming a client?
Yeah. So far, like I haven't had really anybody, outside of people that I do know, reach out to me and be like, hey, I saw your post. I want to check out that house, or I want to start shopping for a house. Haven't been that lucky yet. But what I have noticed is people who I do know, who do follow me, it's been like kind of like a reminder to them, like, oh yeah, Jordan does real estate. I see stuff all the time. Go ahead.
So recently, my fiance actually saw one of your posts pop up on her feed.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if she liked it or what happened, but somehow maybe she filled out a form.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Are you running ads?
Yeah. No, so that wasn't an ad. I think she maybe probably clicked on my link tree or something like that. Maybe something like that in my bio. Yeah, and then that's a great example. It sends an email right to my phone, which then I can follow up with her. I think I probably called her within an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't think she answered, but I left her a voicemail. And then she texted me and told me who she was. I was like, oh, okay, that's so funny. But yeah, I mean, the funnel, if somebody clicks on a link, or because I don't really have the systems in place to where it's like, automatically doing those things for me. I still like to have my personal touches because those are important. Nobody wants to speak to a robot directly, especially from the first couple of touches is what we call, of trying to gain some clientele. So yeah, I just phone call, text, I don't really like to email. If I can get you on the phone, that'd be ideal. So yeah, if somebody clicks on a link, give them a call. If somebody shoots me a DM, immediately ask for their phone number, see when's a good time to talk to them. So try to get the personal connection with them first, and then I can start, nurturing them a little bit.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are very skeptical or not untrustworthy, but they are slow to trust. What would you say that is?
Yeah. And
so I would say, like, I've been doing a lot of sales for my buddy Sean Sievers.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Phoenix, and my rule of thumb is 3 to 5 within the first 24 hours, because I give him a call, I send an email, I send a text message, I send a Facebook message.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people aren't seeing it, are too busy, or they forget.
Yeah.
And so 3 to 5 before you get up on that first.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool how she had followed through that funnel from seeing it, clicking on the link, getting an email or a text message
Yeah.
or call.
Mm-hmm.
So keep it up.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. I don't know. I think in real estate, it's like the average. I can't remember what it is. I want to say like eight touches before you finally convert them to like a client. So, you know, and sometimes you can get lucky, and if you have good personality, and you know, you instantly build that connection with them, where they do like you and trust you,
Mhm.
then it might, you know, knock a few notches off. But like it's all about, I think, how you first approach them. Like if you're too overwhelming and they're more of a calmer person, you know, like then you gotta match, you gotta match them a little bit. So, but if they're super energetic and they're like, yeah, let's go, I want to buy a house, then you match it to them. Let's go look right now. Like, what are you doing? Even though it's 8 p.m., you know, just make it fun and make it personal,
Right.
kind of match their energy.
Yeah. What kind of content do you find most effective for attracting buyers and sellers? So you mentioned professional and then not professional.
Yeah.
You know, what have you found that's worked best? Is it a mix of both?
Yeah, I think mixing in both of mine has worked pretty well, because I mean, really, I only do the two styles of content right now until I get a little bit more comfortable like doing stuff like this, you know, sit down. But like, yeah, so I do my home tours, and then like and that's just a normal, you know, hey, come check out with $679,000 from BU in Urbandale, Iowa.
Yeah.
Walk with me.
Right.
At the end of all my clips or my intros.
Yeah.
And then if I don't do that normal intro, then I'll jump over to the house. And I think mixing in both of those has really benefited me, just because I can still show like I said, I'm a professional, but at the same time I can also have a
Make
little
it
fun with it too.
Definitely make it fun.
Yeah. And I think they both look really, they both worked really well for me, because I mean, I've had this conversation with numerous people, and like if there's a person out there that says like if they were scrolling on Instagram or TikTok and they saw a really cool house, like if they didn't at least stop and watch it for a couple of seconds, like they'd probably be lying. You know, like people like looking at cool homes, you know, and even if it's not a cool home, if it's a $125,000 house in Des Moines, Iowa by the fairgrounds, like you want to see, you know, what that looks like. So I think that's where I've had really good success, just the curiosity of some people.
Yeah.
I would love to do more sit down content,
Yeah.
but it's just, I don't know. It's weird because like I want to say I want to get more comfortable in front of a camera, but I mean lately all I've done is spend time in front of a camera, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, dude.
Yeah, right. But it's just like just sitting down. I don't know, like when I'm doing the sit down content, like I have a camera in front of my face. I've noticed a couple times where I tend to like look like I'm like reading off a script, and like I have my facial expression. It's like just straight, flat, nothing. So I really want to work on getting better at that. Like there's some lady, she's a famous realtor who makes a lot of content. I think she's in Georgia, and to help her get over that stuff, like she puts like a stuffed animal behind the camera and pretends like she's talking to the stuffed animal. So I just got to figure out something that works for me and just do it.
Yeah. I just got back from Oregon. I did a production for Storyline Marketing out there, and something that helped a lot of the guys that, you know, they're shop guys. They're not wanting to be posting stuff on social media, but we want to create a brand and an identity for their shop, and so it's really important to get them on camera. And what helps is having them look at me behind the camera and giving them lots of affirmations like, ooh, good point, like, like keep it up. That kind of thing.
That would work.
So
probably. I can see that.
Yeah. But the stuffed animal idea, that's funny.
It's funny, and I can definitely see it working, but like I wouldn't want somebody to like walk by my office. What is he doing? So
something that might help is trying to envision like you're talking to a prospect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking to a prospect. I'm talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Picture their face.
Yeah.
Have you ever closed a deal or made a connection through social media, like, you know, the Kaylee, for instance?
Yeah. I would like to think so. Yeah. There was a client of mine who messaged me on Facebook, who an old friend of mine that I used to hang out with, you know, my younger baseball days and stuff like that, and reached out to me, and I would love to think it's because like I was continuously posting on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that it was, like I said, a reminder of what I was doing. So I would like to think that is why, you know, she reached out to me. I could be wrong, and maybe I just got lucky.
Is that trackable? So like, for Kaylee's scenario,
Yeah.
could you see that she came from Instagram?
Yeah, I think it said Linktree or something like that, which is in my Instagram bio.
Is it only in your Instagram bio, or do you?
I don't think it's in my Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's in my Facebook. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it would have had to have been from Instagram Linktree.
Where do you get most of your clientele from?
Great question. Some of it has been referral so far, which I've been very happy about. You know, obviously that makes me feel like I'm doing my job pretty good.
Right.
You know, if people are like, yeah, you know, you need to get a hold of Jordan if you need anything real estate, and then have blessed with so many amazing friends and family members that are always pushing to, you know, help me achieve my goals. So, you know, my mom, my dad, like they're two of the biggest supporters. Like there was one time, there was a Facebook post about somebody asking about real estate photography, and they wanted to sell their home on their own for sale by owner. And like both my parents were in the comments, like, you should just get a hold of my son and see how he does his marketing, you know, the videos. So my parents, friends, it's been really good just to have them as, I guess, my referral partners. So
Yeah.
But other than that, this year lately, I mean, just the beginning of the year, really, it's been, I did a lot of open houses last year. Last year was a point in my life where I wanted to make that next jump into real estate. So, you know, for a while I was cold calling, I was door knocking. And I think when I was doing that last year, I think, you know, I would like to think my hard work was recognized. And now I'm slowly getting a little bit more busy. So it's been fun so far.
Yeah.
This has been a good start of the year. And I think it's because of the hard work I put in last year.
What do you think are some of the things that a seller would benefit going through a realtor versus doing it themselves?
I think the exposure. Is very, very important. Like I said earlier, you know, like if you list a home on the MLS, it's then, you know, fed into Realtor.com, Homes.com, Zillow, Redfin, fed into automatically, you know, and then, you know, I think you have 30,000 realtors in the DMAR. Maybe that's in Iowa, I can't remember. But whatever it is, you know, I mean, that's just ample amount of exposure for your property. And, you know, if you were a realtor as well and you're in my office, texting some of my friends right now are in my office and they have this really, really, really nice house that's going up for sale. And I was like, it's a lower price point. I was like, you know, I have to have a buyer somewhere for that. Somewhere in my contacts, in my CRM, in my Instagram. So, I mean, without that connection, you know, like they said, hey, we're bringing this house on the market. We're going to film a video there now, taking photos of it. You know, they gave me the address, gave me the specs of the home, and I'm like, yeah, I have to have a buyer for that somewhere. So, I mean, just having that opportunity and the house isn't even listed yet, you know? So, I mean, if they can get the house sold before it even hits the market, that's a huge win for the sellers. So that's why I think it's really important, just because, you know, the people in the office talk, you know, and then depending on who those other people in the office have connections with, they might say, hey, Parks, you know, I know you're at blah, blah, blah real estate, but my friend, one of my coworkers has this property come for sale. I remember you posted on Facebook that you had a buyer need for something, and this seems like it would really fit that. Why don't you check it out? And the next thing you know, you're like, hey, Jordan, my buyer does love that house. And it's not even on the market yet. So it's just generating the opportunity to get that house sold before it even hits the market, you know, and then not to mention when it does hit the market and then it's pushed out to all those portals and it's pushed out to all the realtors. I think it's great. Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for 2 years now?
Coming up on 2 years, yep.
What advice would you give to a real estate agent that wants to start out in the industry?
Be ready. It can be a super fun job and it can also be a very stressful job. Like I said, this is the busiest I've been so far in my career, and I think it's because I put in a lot of hard work last year, but I'm now busier and it's way more stressful, you know, and I'm at the point where I just talked about this today. I don't have a transaction coordinator. I don't have an assistant. Like, I'm doing everything on my own. So tonight I gotta go show a house till 7. I gotta go show a house at 7. Probably be there for 30 minutes. Probably gonna be a 30-minute drive home. Puts me home at 8 o'clock. Well, what happens if they want to submit an offer? Then you're gonna be up for another hour. 45 minutes, an hour, depending on how fast you can write the offer. And then you're good. That's 9 o'clock. You haven't even ate dinner, showered, spent time with your family yet. So it can be really long hours. But I mean, if you're good at managing your time, it can be very beneficial. And a lot of people are like, this is the most stressful job you'll ever do. And my first year and a half, I didn't really believe it. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty stressful sometimes, but I think I can manage it for the most part. And then you have a bunch of different, balls that you're juggling. And it's like, oh gosh, that slipped through the crack. This person's mad at me. I forgot to get that signed. That's when it gets really stressful. And then you're chasing paperwork. You're trying to get somebody to answer the phone because you need them to answer the phone immediately because you're closing tomorrow and this thing needs signed tonight, and they won't answer the phone. Maybe they went out of town for the week. It's just a bunch of different things that can delay a lot of stuff, and it's not just going to be for you or your client. There's people on the other side of the transaction too that will also be impacted.
Yeah. Have you ever considered being a part of a team? Like, were you a part of a team with Coldwell?
Yeah, I was. When I first got licensed, the guy who helped me get licensed, his name is AJ Anderson. He has been an agent for 23, 24 years now. He was a baseball coach of mine when I was 8 or 9. And I got done with school, and I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I want to get my real estate license. Will you help me? And he kind of walked me through what the process looks like. And I just took my test until I passed. And then once I did pass, I joined his team instantly, which he was a mentor of mine, a great mentor of mine. And it was amazing just to see, how he talks to people, how he interacts with not even just his clients, but more so just other business people, because it's not just about building relationships with, your clients as well, like lenders, appraisers, inspectors, insurance people, because, at some point in time, those people will take care of you too. So yeah, I joined his team, and I loved it. But I right out about a year of being in real estate, I was just kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, if I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do it on my own and see how I can do it. And if I can't, then that opportunity is always there. But so I left AJ's team, all on good terms. He's still like a person who is my parents' age is my best friend, and left his team, and it's been great ever since. It's been really fun, The team aspect it's special though, because you spend a lot of time with somebody. Like I said, you learn how they talk to other people, especially if you're a newer agent. It's good to hear, like I said, how they interact with people. And then if you're busy and you can't get something because you're out of town or you're tied up with another appointment, there's always another person you can rely on to, hey, could you go show this house? Could you go let this person in this door? Stuff like that. And that's why I think teams are pretty cool.
If you had to give one mindset tip to someone wanting to, succeed in real estate or business in general, what would it be?
I think it is probably just keeping a calm head. I mean, there's a lot of times you'll get frustrated because things don't go your way. You worked really, really hard to get a for sale by owner to list with you, and then you find out a week later that they listed with somebody else. That's frustrating because you start to think, when you're having that conversation, like, okay, this could work. I'm going to market it this way. I'm going to, send it out to this people before it goes live. And then it doesn't happen. You're like, oh, that was a waste of time. Where you submit an offer in a multiple offer situation where your buyers really, really, really want that house super bad. And they're at the top of their price range. And you submit an offer for what they feel comfortable with, and they don't get it. And you have to be the guy to say, hey, Parks, didn't work out, man. Sorry. So that, that's the tough side of things. And, they could be frustrated, they could be understanding. You just never know. And I think that's where it's just important to realize, you don't want them to see you frustrated either. You have to be the professional. You have to say, that's fine. We're going to go get the next one now. You know, we're gonna go find it. That one sucked anyways. You know, you didn't want it that bad, and you just keep moving forward.
That's good. What's something you wish you knew when you first started real estate?
Oh man, what is something I wish I knew? Probably how to be more systematic. And it kind of sounds weird, but I've realized since I've been busy, like the systems are so important. And if you don't have proper systems put into place, you know, so many things fall through the crack. Paperwork, clients, potential clients. But if you have those systems put into place, then you'll be just fine. Because I always thought I was a super organized person, you know, tidy room, all the good stuff. And then like you get a computer and you have this list of 300 people that you want to buy a house from you at some point in your life. And then you look on Facebook and they bought a house with somebody else, and it's like, what could I have done differently to give myself a better chance? And I just think it's all about how you work your systems that you have put into place in order to make those things happen. So systems for sure. Because like I said, you can think you're going to be the most organized person ever, and you can be successful in real estate without being organized, but it sure makes it a hell of a lot easier.
One of the quotes I like is that if it has 3 or more steps, or you do it 3 or more times, it should be documented to be delegated or automated.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's
Something
great.
to live by.
Yeah, right.
As a business owner.
Yeah, and I mean, that, like we said, it takes a certain amount of touches to get somebody, maybe to transition from a potential client to a client. And let's just say, you did it twice, and then they went to the bottom of your list, and you just didn't scroll far enough every day to see them. And next thing you know, they went out and bought a house without you, and you're like, oh my goodness, they were in my database. What did I do wrong? And it was because you didn't follow up for 4 months, idiot.
Right.
So,
if you weren't in real estate, what do you think you'd be doing?
Man, I think I'd probably just be doing a regular job. I don't know, like I was doing landscaping before real estate. That wasn't going to be a forever thing for sure. It's kind of just doing it in the summer to make money for this job. I don't know, man. I like coaching, so I think coaching would be a cool thing for me to get into. But like that'd probably just be more of a side thing. So I think I would have just found something that suited me best, whether it's an office job or construction worker. I would just
Those are pretty different.
Yeah, I would just went with the flow. I would just move with the flow. I think found something that I liked and stuck with it. And who knows, maybe I would have, I don't know, different world than like a social media influencer, because I like doing it now. Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, hit me with the hard ones.
I know.
A chef.
Chef. Really?
I love cooking.
Yeah.
I love cooking. Yeah.
Any cuisine in particular?
Man, I've learned a lot of good dishes to cook lately. Thanks to my mom, I would like to think I make a really good chicken Alfredo. Other than that, I like making.
Are you Italian?
What?
Are you Italian?
I just got that question the other day. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe. I like making fried rice. I like making different sandwiches. Yeah, definitely a chef. Chef, I love cooking food.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's weird, sometimes I'm the most pickiest guy ever, but I really enjoy cooking.
Yeah. What other hobbies do you have?
I hang out with my girlfriend. We have a dog, a golden retriever named Paisley.
How old?
She just turned 3.
Wow.
Yep, just turned 3. I play slow pitch softball with my friends sometimes in the warmer weather. That's something fun to do. And then I love hanging out with all my friends and family. Get together, watch football. Although I really enjoy playing baseball, I don't really watch much baseball. So football is my time to really sit down with my friends. College, NFL, all of it. So I love golfing too. I'm not a great golfer, but I love golfing. I've taken some lessons. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do, and you can do it with anybody and still have fun.
Right.
I don't know. It's just being a business owner now. Like, there's so many different things you could be doing than just doing random stuff. That and it's all obviously about having a good work-life balance too. But like when I go home, like I'm just thinking of different things I can do to help myself generate more business. And it's sometimes maybe it gets a little bit too overwhelming, because it seems like something that's all I'm thinking about is real estate.
Oh, I get that coming all the time.
Yeah. It's just like you just think, okay, I could do this and I could do that. What about if I did this differently? So it's just, I don't know, sometimes I'll get sidetracked when I'm doing real estate, and I'll just start thinking of, different ways that I can help generate more business, social media. I did cold calling and door knocking, like I said, and it wasn't that fun, and I think my biggest success when I'm finding new clients or building those relationships with people is not through a forced approach most times, which cold calling and door knocking doesn't have to be forced. But if I can just get in front of them and have a conversation with them, I can then match their energy, kind of figure out what type of level they're on, and then from there, hopefully get a little bit closer.
As you've gotten deeper and deeper into, real estate's a business. It's your business. As you've gotten deeper and deeper into your business, has there been things that you've had to cut out of your life, whether it's video games or hanging out with friends, even?
I wouldn't say cut out, but I would say definitely have to realize that some things aren't as important as running a business. I love to go to the gym later in the afternoon because I feel like that's you've been moving all day, you've eaten a couple meals, you're strongest. Well, like tonight, if I'm going to that showing at 7 p.m. So if I go to that showing at 7 p.m. and I'm doing this with you, where's my time to go to the gym? Because I work the whole time leading up to this. So now I have to go to the gym in the morning. You have to completely just switch things around and make sure it works for your schedule, because real estate, it can be all over the place. And then on the weekends, sometimes you want to have a little fun, and it's hard to, because one, you can't make a fool out of yourself. Two, I like to do open houses. It's a great way to generate exposure for your listings, and as well as meet buyers. If somebody's coming to an open house, they probably want to buy a home. So why not go to an open house and meet somebody like that? And if you go there and you had a little bit too much fun the night before, and you're not going to be sharp. So so I've cut back on that a little bit too.
Yeah, I've had my fair share.
Yeah, right.
That's been a topic recently for me. It's not that I don't enjoy those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the prioritization of what's going to help move me towards my goal.
Yeah.
Then not.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what me and Sydney, we've talked numerous times about, man, we're still so young, we don't go out and do all these things anymore, and, we'll see other people out doing those things, and man, we should have went. That looks like so much fun. And then I'm like, I gotta wake up early and go to the gyms, and then I can go do my open house on a Sunday. So that stuff, but it also, I think, to play devil's advocate, going out and hanging out with friends on a weekend, that's another opportunity for me to go, meet new people. And, that's what helps kind of keep my business afloat is, meeting new people and building those relationships. So it's kind of sometimes like a slippery slope there, but you have to kind of make sure you're still, like you said, moving the needle.
Yeah, definitely. What's your best piece of advice you ever received about real estate or business in general?
Since I'm in this business, and there's a lot of emotion involved in it most of the time, like I said, losing out on a deal that you really want, a house that you really wanted, isn't all that fun, or you have your house listed and you get an offer that your clients aren't going to be real happy with, right? And you have to be the bearer of bad news and tell them, hey, sorry. And then if you think they're going to maybe fire back with, maybe not be aggressive, but obviously they're going to be pretty upset. It's okay to kind of hold that conversation for just a little bit, let everybody's emotions calm down. Make sure it's not in the heat of the moment exchange, and then from there you can have that simpler conversation, because the last thing you want to do is burn a bridge. So if emotions are high, and people are frustrated, and and if it's an emergency thing, obviously do what you need to do. But if it's something that can wait, it can wait. And you can have that conversation when everybody's cooled down, everybody's calm, and that way, like I said, you don't burn the bridge.
Right.
So I think that's one that it's really helped me. I think because there's some times that I've gotten told something and I'm like, oh man, like that sucks. Maybe I'll fire back. I'm like, nope, I can't. I just need to let it lay low for a little bit, and then from there I can address it.
Do you work with any builders?
Yeah. Yep. I was asked. It was in the summer. I got asked by one of my colleagues to see if I'd be willing to help represent a builder who had some inventory in Bonnarant. Obviously, from being from that side of town, I think it was a good opportunity for me. Representing a builder was a little bit of a shell shock for me, just because you're constantly doing open houses, and these guys want these inventories sold so they can continue to build. So like just going out there every Sunday and hanging out. 1 to 3. Sometimes I got 2 people through. Sometimes I got 8. Sometimes I got 0 people through. But you're just there. You're giving your sellers an opportunity to sell their home, which that part I enjoyed. And obviously, new construction homes for the most part are pretty nice and pretty cool. So yeah, that part's fun of it too. And then it gives me another opportunity to promote my listings through social media, which I think that's why I really, really like listings too. Is it's because it's when I get to showcase how I kind of market properties, which it's not super unique, right? A lot of people do social media now. A lot of realtors do social media now. A lot of realtors do social media now too, but it's just about like the different forms of content that you're doing, and how professional can you make them look. Is I get asked quite a bit, like, hey, how do you film your stuff? Who films your stuff? And it's all me. I bought a mic, I bought a gimbal, and my iPhone. That's it. That's all I use. And it's taken me, I probably posted close to 100 videos now. And it's taken me this long to kind of figure out how to make the videos smooth and how to make them look professional, and the editing side of things that I can do to just improve them.
What's something people might be surprised to learn about you?
That I can't actually jump over houses. I don't know. The jumping over the houses thing it's gotten. I think it's opened up a lot of potential doors for me that like haven't, they're kind of like cracked open, and like eventually I think they'll open up a little bit more. But like that, it's something that like I didn't realize. I did it once because I thought it was cool, and like now some people do it like just to be funny and make jokes of it, but I know they're seeing my content then, because they're like, hey, when are you gonna jump over another house? And I'm like, I don't know, but I know they've seen the content, just because you're scrolling, you saw me jump over a house, you probably watched and saw the video too. So yeah, that has opened some new doors for me. What was your question?
What's something that people might be surprised to learn about you?
You're like the world's best question asker. Parks, I don't know, man.
What do you like best about real estate?
What do I like best about real
We're
estate?
going off script.
Yeah, that's perfect. What do I like best about real estate? I like the opportunity to help people out. Like I said in the beginning, the career that I was going to go, it didn't work out because I wanted people to feel like I was helping. And I mean, whether it's a first-time home buyer or somebody who's bought a home 5 times, or somebody who's a first-time home seller, or somebody who's sold their house 5 times, like those are all 4 different opportunities to really help people out, and I guess kind of share your expertise. And that's what I really enjoyed about it, is just helping people out. And I know a lot of real estate agents say, I just want to help people out, and it truly is. It's fun to see a first-time home buyer at the closing table with the lender that helped them, get the money to buy this home, and like they're sitting down there and they're kind of nervous, but they're kind of excited. And then, we take a picture, and they send me pictures after they moved in of their furniture in, or they'll send me a picture and this is broke, and we're like, hey, what the heck? And like that, it truly is a feeling that I don't know. I haven't really experienced in any other career. Granted, I haven't done very many, but it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And sometimes you have to swallow your pride. You know, if you messed up, you have to just accept it super quick. There was one time. This is a funny story. Not funny at all, actually. I had a seller who I had their property listed, and they had a showing request, and that showing request came through. I confirmed it, and the buyer showed up at the property. The next day, they toured the property, and I completely forgot to let my sellers know about that. Obviously, somebody showing up to your house unannounced is not cool. You know, so I'll give you a shot, right? And so like that happened, and I was like, oh man, like that's a pretty big mess up. You know, that thankfully nothing happened. Everybody was fine. No damage was done, but like that was a time that I was like, immediately I accepted like you can't be mad at anybody but yourself. You know, that was your own mess up. So just immediately owning up on your actions rather than like trying to make them right and like justify why that happened and you know why it was kind of okay. If you really messed up, just acknowledge it. So yeah.
I feel like we've both changed quite a bit since high school.
Yeah.
I've known you since high school.
Yeah.
Where do you think, or what do you think was the biggest thing that, you know, kind of shaped the way that you see life now, from high school to, like, what's the biggest difference between the JoJo I knew in high school to the Jordan Graves that I know now?
Yeah, I think maturity to start off. Just going through different stages of my life, from you know high school to then playing baseball in college to now running a business. I think there's a lot of change, and I think just me understanding that I really do want to make an impact on people's lives, and not that I didn't, you know, when I was in high school, when I was JoJo, and now I'm Jordan. Not that I didn't want to make an impact on people's lives then, but I definitely want to do now, just because I feel like I have more purpose to help people out. Just from like the clients I've seen that I have helped.
What kind of nurtured that growth into wanting to provide that for your clients?
Well, if I wasn't going to sign autographs in the MLB, then I still wanted to leave a mark on people. And that is why, and I know I've talked about it so many times, but that's why I keep relying or going back to first-time home buyers, is because on average, you know, they're going to buy a couple more homes in their lifetime. And if I can just be with somebody from the first time they bought their very first house until they're getting ready to buy, this is it, I'm done, this is going to be my dream home, I'm going to live here for the rest of my life with my family. Just seeing that stuff, having the capability to see somebody kind of grow up, I guess you could say. Like my friends, all of our friends know when they start buying houses, just to see where they started, you know, when we were 20, in our younger 20s to, okay, now you guys are, you know, 40, 50, and you guys just bought your dream home. That is what's really special. It's actually funny you asked about why, because I was at a company conference, my first year in real estate at Coldwell Baker. They had a company conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and I went there. And every different room I walked into with a different like instructor talking about different things in real estate, how to generate business, how to, you know, use systems properly, how to do all these different things. Like, I feel like the first or the last question they always ask you is like, what's your why? Find your why. And it was like a question that I wrote down on my notepad in bold, underlined it, circled it in my notebook when I was leaving Atlanta. I want to go home and find my why. It's tough. It's a loaded question. It's a super loaded question.
It definitely is. I think part of it is trying new things. Like after college, I did a lot of different things. Okay? I worked for my dad, and we sold motorcycle hauling wheel chocks.
Okay.
And I had all kinds of hats. There was a welder, you know, I was a salesman, I was a marketer, I was a shipping person.
Yeah.
I did every aspect of it. And then when I left there, I was working in construction management using my degree. And I did that. I handled things on site, I handle things in the office, paperwork, that kind of thing. And I think people that are searching for their purpose are inevitably not going to find it unless they try things. Because that's something I struggle with, was like, I don't know what my why is, I don't know what my purpose is. And like, you'll never find it unless you keep trying.
Yeah.
And when you find something that you find fulfillment in, and it's something admirable, that can be your purpose or your why, I think.
I definitely am fulfilled in real estate. Like, I love it. I wouldn't choose to do anything else. I wish I would have done it right out of high school, honestly. There's just endless amount of things that can, it can lead towards. I'm a residential real estate agent, right? Well, I had somebody call me who knows a restaurant owner, and they wanted to sell their restaurant, wanted to get out of that industry. So I would be doing them a disservice if I listed a restaurant, because I do primarily residential. But I have built a relationship with somebody who does primarily do commercial real estate, and I was able to connect those people together. And now I think officially, as of yesterday or today, like, there's a restaurant on the market that, I kind of helped generate that. So
Is that something you have interest in getting into?
Commercial stuff? Yeah, definitely. Like when I had a phone call with the agent yesterday, and I just said, hey, when you start getting some traction on this restaurant, or you have people asking questions, keep me posted on that stuff, because I do want to learn. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think that'll go beyond just being a commercial real estate agent. It'll be, when I want to start investing more into real estate. Maybe dip into some multifamily. I think it's an opportunity that, it just doesn't seclude you to residential real estate. You can go and do commercial, whether it's an apartment, a restaurant, a warehouse, land, stuff like that. So
yeah. Something I was just talking about with Darson Grantham was a new thing that he's starting or has tried to do is first-time homebuyer workshops.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about?
I've definitely thought about it. I have a lender friend of mine who he's about our age, and he also works a lot of first-time home buyers. And I think it'd be really, really cool to do one, even on like in Altoona somewhere. I thought about doing a first-time home buyer seminar just because I think it'd be such a good opportunity, and I think I could have some friends just come check out and see, like when I put on my professional suit, what it's like.
Jordan in action.
Yeah, right. Versus JoJo versus Jordan, right? Like when they come and, they can ask questions, and I'd be like happy to answer them. So yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity to meet, first time home buyers, or just people who are just curious, or maybe their parents come and want to hear more. Maybe, it's not like an immediate thing, but they're going to be doing it within the next 2 to 3 years. And if you can get them informed and educate them now about kind of what it looks like, that way when it comes time to actually do it, they'll be more prepared. Yeah, I think they're really cool. Yeah.
Do you know any realtors that advertise on social media?
I think I talked to Darson about it. Maybe did he say he did?
He said he's starting to. With his first-time homebuyer workshop.
Yeah. I actually met with him. I met with Darson, not directly, but we were at our DMR Realtor event. It was like the annual event that they had hosted. And we sat there and we talked about my social media stuff. And he was like, either him or the gentleman he was with asked if I do any advertising for them. And I was like, no, I really don't, and I've been able to get some pretty good engagement without advertising them. So I haven't quite started advertising them quite yet, just because I wanted to show myself that I could do it authentically. And right now it's been great so far. I think I have, like I texted you the other day, I think my account reach is at like 40,000 now, or in the last 30 days, so 40,000 more eyeballs that I, didn't know that I did real estate that now do. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I've thought about it though, for sure. I definitely thought about it.
Yeah. No, I thought it was interesting with Darson's concept of advertising the workshop as a free seminar to bring new home buyers in, provide them value by educating them about their decision and the process of buying a home. And even if you converted one of those people that had came to a client, that would make the advertising worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then give you just some ad spend, I think would be the proper term there, to do it again. Yeah. I think that they would be great, seriously. And I think even for just, me being 22, knowing so many first-time home buyers or soon-to-be first-time home buyers, I think it'd be a great avenue that I could take to really help people understand that, I do want to help them make, the first biggest purchase of their life, I guess. And I'm happy to educate them earlier on, like what it looks like, and then when it comes time to do it again. So
if someone's looking to buy, sell, or invest, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah. First, go check out my Instagram at the Jordan Graves. Pretty simple. Try to keep it clean. And then if they want to call or text me, 515-410-6148. Yeah, those are probably the two easiest ways.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. Huge thanks to Jordan Graves for sharing his journey with us and how he's using social media to grow his real estate business. Again, as he mentioned, you can contact him at The Jordan Graves on Instagram. And if you're a business owner looking to level up your marketing, look us up, prmarketing-us.com. See how we can help. Would love to chat. We can schedule a free demo call, walk you through our whole process from click to close. So don't forget, subscribe, leave a review. This would help us out a ton for the podcast. Share the episode with anyone that needs to hear it. And thanks again for tuning in. Catch you in the next one.